Okay, so you guys learn how to do the basics on the motorcycle now. So it's time for some real world practice. And basically what I'm gonna do here is just gonna ride and tell you guys what I'm doing here with the shifting and all of that, right? So I'm getting to a stop, so I basically let go of the gas, downshift, I hold the clutch, downshift it first, and then I get to the clutch control here with the friction zone, take off, shift to second, and now I'm on second. I should be shifting to third gear here now for a smoother ride. And so we're chilling. I could tell that the bike was asking me to shift gears because if I let go of the throttle, the engine braking was a little bit strong. So I'm not gonna do rev matching and all of that stuff. Well, I'll try not to. We'll get to that at another video. So right now I'm gonna turn right, so I'll use my turn signal, let go of the gas, let go of the throttle, clutch, downshift, let go of the clutch, downshift, and then I hold the clutch because I'm on first gear, right? So I'm turning right. Since I'm doing slow speed turn, I'm controlling the friction zone. So now I'm shifting up again, clutch, shift up, right? So I'm okay at these speeds because I don't need to shift up. I could, but if I do, then I'll need to use my brakes down here. I'm going downhill, so I'd rather just use engine braking by letting go of the gas. So I'm gonna turn left, so I'm gonna clutch, let go of the gas, right, and then shift down. So once you get to the stop, control the clutch, control the friction zone with the clutch, hit the throttle, and then you get moving, and then you switch to second gear. As you guys can see, basically I switched to second gear almost right away, right? So as I mentioned on my previous video, first gear is mostly just a takeoff, and I'm gonna get to some faster roads in a little bit. That way you guys can see how I do about shifting gears to a higher gear. So shifted to third gear here just for a smoother ride. Don't really need to. Second gear can do more than that, but you know, if you want to have a smoother ride, so clutch, shift down, let go of the gas, clutch, shift down, hold the clutch, then you do the clutch control here, turn, and now I can shift gear again. So clutch, shift, and if I want to hit the throttle on second gear, it'll go, right? It still has plenty to go. So I'm just letting the engine brake now. So I'm holding the clutch now, shift down to first, just letting the bike coast. So now I'm gonna do a slow turn with the clutch, shift. So here is if I want to go faster and smooth, I could shift now, right? And then I could get going a little bit faster. Now if I let go of the throttle, engine braking is a little bit strong, right? So that means I can shift up. So I can shift up to fourth. Now if I let go of the throttle, it just coasts, right? So I'm at a good gear for this speed. So I'm just gonna keep chilling here. And basically, if I want to, as you guys can see, I can let go of the throttle hand and it'll just coast at that speed. So if I want to have some engine braking or slow down without using the brakes, I can basically downshift. So let go of the throttle, downshift, and then let go of the clutch slowly, and the engine brake will kick in. Okay, so and then you hit the throttle to like manage your speed and like if you need to keep going faster, right? So I'm gonna hop on the freeway here so you guys can see. So basically when hopping on the freeway, first, second gear, right? So what I gotta do now is push the gears a little bit further. So shift, right? So you hit the throttle, shift, and what I'm doing here is I'm letting go of the clutch faster because I'm basically I am hitting the throttle, and I know the bike well enough, so I'm hitting the throttle. As you guys can see, I'm still on 5th gear. I have 6 gears. So if I want to ride very smooth, I have 6 gears. But usually 5th gear is totally fine at those speeds. So what I'm doing with the clutch to get on the freeway is basically I hit the throttle, I let go of the gas real quick, I shift up, and once I shift up, I immediately get back on the throttle. That way I don't use momentum and I don't get any weird like engine braking, right? So I shift up, hit the throttle, and just continue going, like moving up the speed, right? And it's basically the same thing when you're slowing down. You're just doing the opposite. So when you're slowing down, you're gonna let go of the throttle, shift down. So you hold the clutch, you shift down, and then you just you let go of the throttle again, so the bike keeps slowing down, and then you can use the throttle as you need, right? So basically any speeds over like 60 miles per hour, I can chill on 6 gears, on the 6th gear, and no problem with that. And I'm gonna get off the freeway to ride a little bit more with you guys. Okay, so I'm about to get off the freeway and I'm going uphill. So if I let go of the throttle, the bike is gonna slow down by itself. But basically I let go of the throttle, I shift down, also hold the clutch, shift down, and now the bike is asking me to shift down again because I slow down a lot because of the uphill. So I basically just repeat the same thing over and over, right? So I can tell that the bike is asking me to downshift more because it kind of wants to stall because I'm going too slow for those gears, right? So if I'm going too slow for those gears, I can basically downshift and not have to worry about the bike having a hard engine braking, because it'll just be smoother. Because I basically went from like 60 miles per hour to 30 real quick, and I was doing 6 gears, so I had to shift down like 2-3 gears. So you could do one by one, but it depended on how much you slow down in a short period of time. You might be able to shift down 2 gears at once, but you should probably just worry about that when you're more experienced. Okay, so basically doing 40 miles per hour here. If I want to go fast, I can just hit the throttle. As you guys can see, 4th gear, we can do 70 miles per hour, right? So even though the gears usually have a smoother transition at a certain RPM, doesn't mean that they can only do those RPMs, okay? So I could shift to 5th gear, even 6th gear here, maintain the same speed. The only difference is just that the RPM is going to go lower, and I'll have a smoother ride if I'm on higher gears, okay? But of course I can't do these speeds at like 2nd gear. I probably could, but it's not gonna be smooth at all. It's gonna feel very weird. So if I shift down, basically the way I'm shifting down is hold the clutch, let go of the throttle, and then I just like the engine braking kicks in, so I manage that with the throttle to keep the same speed. So I give it more throttle to keep those speeds, right? So 3rd gear, as you guys can see, the RPM is very high now. So you want to shift up so the RPM start dropping. Okay, that way, like if you're like 3rd gear we'll bring the bike up to those speeds, but the problem is that you don't want to coast at those speeds on third gear because it's not going to be smooth, right? So if you're coasting at those speeds, then you want to be at a higher gear so you're on lower RPMs and your bike will just be chilling. Like you're not going to have jerky, like jerky throttle response or any like any weird like engine braking, okay? So like right now, I slowed down to 47 miles per hour, and I'm at 3,000 RPMs. It kind of feels weird. Like if I hit the throttle, the bike kind of like you can feel it choking a little bit. So I want to shift down. So I hold the clutch, shift down, then I let go of the clutch slowly. And if the engine brake kicks in a little bit too hard, I can use the throttle to basically calibrate for that engine braking, right? And we're getting to a stop pretty soon here, I believe. And basically that's what you want to do when you slow down. So if I shift down to fourth gear here, I let go of the throttle, shift down, let go of the clutch slowly so you can feel if you need to give it throttle or not, or if for the engine braking is going to be okay. So basically I'm doing the same thing here over and over, and that's literally all you got to do to slow down, right? So you just hold the clutch, let go of the throttle, and then you calibrate the engine braking. As you need. Alright, so here I'm doing a little bit of rev matching, which is basically, it's a little bit more advanced. So when getting to a stop like this, and if you want to do rev matching, you got to know your motorcycle a little bit better. And shifting gears faster too. Basically you push the gears a little bit, and then you hit the throttle, you shift up. You just got to do the same movement, you just do it faster basically, and you push the gears a little bit longer. So instead of shifting like from second to third at like 30 miles per hour, you just push second gear a little bit higher to like 40 miles per hour, and depending on your motorcycle that'll change, right? But essentially that's basically the same thing that we're doing. We're just doing it faster. So like shift it to fifth, right? So now I want to shift down. Usually you want to slow down before the turn. I shifted down and I use engine braking to slow me down instead of using the brakes. Counter steering. So basically we're getting to a turn, to a right turn. Instead of turning the handlebar to the right, I basically push it with my right hand forward and the bike turns, right? So push it the right hand, the bike turns, then we turn, okay? And that's the counter steering that I was talking about. So if I'm going here and then I push with my right hand forward, the bike turns to the right. So if I push it forward with the left, bike turns to the left. You're not going to turn the wheel as if you were on a bicycle at slow speeds, okay? Even with a bicycle, you do have to do some counter steering if you're going fast, okay? I would say learn how to ride a bicycle first if you don't, before you get on a motorcycle. So basically, like second gear, want to shift up, press the clutch, shift up, let go of the clutch, And essentially, well, with time, this all becomes second nature. In the beginning, it is a little bit intimidating. I'll tell you guys this much. I mean, there were times, that's why I recommend getting a smaller motorcycle to learn on, and a cheap motorcycle too, because there were times when I was learning that I hopped on the freeway and I wanted to shift up and I ended up shifting down, and then I had like some weird engine braking and it was scary. Okay, so I recommend that you guys get a smaller motorcycle. You know, don't be too anxious about, you know, oh, just gonna buy a one bike that will be it. I don't need to buy. You know, most people drop their first motorcycle. I dropped mine. So as I was saying, most people drop their first motorcycle. I dropped mine. So I recommend that you guys don't be greedy, you know, go for a smaller motorcycle so you can learn on. Don't go thinking that you're immortal. Get something small so you can practice and learn. So preferably you want to get a motorcycle that you can flat foot. That way when you get to stop, you don't need to worry about picking a side to put your foot, or being worried if you're going to drop the motorcycle. Okay? So I hope you guys have a wonderful time, and I'll see you guys on the next one.